We're live now. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all keeping well. Welcome to our pre-match press conference for our game against Fulham. As always, we'll start with broadcast questions, and it will start with Roger Clark. Then there'll be a dailies briefing embargo till 10:30 tonight, and a couple of questions from the Evening Standard embargoed till 12:30 tomorrow. As always, no streaming of press conference live or social media posting. That can all wait until afterwards. Roger, I'm coming to you first.
Thank you. Hello there, Jose. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, good.
Excellent. Can I just ask, first of all, about your squad before the last game? Everyone was fit apart from Gio Lascelles, so is that still the case? What's the latest with Gio and the rest of the squad?
Yeah, it's still the case. Training with the team, but was a big injury. We are not going to risk yet. In fact, we don't want to risk. We want to bring him to the team and to competition when there is no risk. So 1 more week, 2 more weeks. Apart of that, everybody okay. 1 more training session this afternoon, but we think okay.
You said before the last one, said that Gareth Bale was training well, but in terms of managing him, it was all about his recovery between games and managing minutes. Obviously, he played the other day, played Thursday, he got Sunday as well. Is he able to cope with that this week?
I believe so. Start the game, being on the bench, I don't know. We have to decide. And he's such an experienced guy that, of course, his opinion is very important. But good reaction, good recovering sessions, and he will be involved. I repeat, bench or starting, but he will be there.
Just more general terms regarding your squad, I don't know if you'll have seen before the last game, Roy Keane and Jamie Redknapp had quite a heated exchange discussing the merits of the squad. Jamie was defending your squad. Roy Keane said, with the exception of Harry Kane and Son, no one else in the top 6 or so would be interested in anyone in your squad. Was Roy Keane right? Do you have an average squad?
You know, I didn't watch it, and it's not for me to comment on the pundits' opinions. I have huge respect for Roy. You know, I love to work with him when I was at Sky, but independent of that, a winner like he is, I have lots of respect for Roy and for his job as a pundit. But I'm not going to make any comments, because if I do that, probably I will be asked week after week with other people.
But you would say that your squad is better than average, though, your players?
Excuse me?
You would say, though, I would imagine that your players, your squad is better than average, though.
You are trying to take me in the direction of your previous question, and I don't want to go there.
Next one, Roger, please.
Okay. Again, a completely different topic. It's been confirmed that the UK and Ireland are going to make a bid for the 2030 World Cup. Also, Spain and Portugal are going to bid for that. Now, you have your life over here. You made a life over here. But would you prefer to see a World Cup in your home country, in Spain and Portugal, or would you like to see one over here?
Putting the things in that perspective, I would prefer in Portugal. You know, I love England. I'm here first time since 2004. But you know, Portugal is Portugal. But I have to admit that I'm really, really happy with that situation, because or in Portugal or in England, that would be great.
Thank you, Jose. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for that. Right, we'll go to Ian Abrahams.
Hi, Jose. How are you?
Hey, my friend. You good?
Very good, thank you. Spurs going well. Spurs look good on Sunday. Top 4, top 6. What do you think?
Top nothing. Just try to win tomorrow. Just try to win tomorrow. We won just one match in the Premier League, playing well, good result, good score, but just one match. The match before, we could all agree that the opponent level is not the Premier League level, but to beat them 4-0 the way we did it, you also need to play well. West Ham, we lost. The result was bad, but I think we all agree that we didn't play bad at all. Same as Everton, same as at home against West Bromwich, same as Man City when we had a little bit of fuel in our legs. So we are not playing bad at all. But the only two good results that we had were these two last ones. So top nothing. Just try to win one more match a week with 9 points to fight for. 3 are in the pocket. We have 6 to fight for. And that's the focus.
I know it was before you arrived at Spurs, but Scott Parker was a youth team coach there and had quite a good reputation. What have you made of him in charge of Fulham this year, and how much more difficult are they to play against now than even when you played the first game with them?
I like that team. And they played very well against us. They are playing very well. They are getting good results. Big squad, lots of good players, young squad. Parker doing his job obviously very well. I like that team.
Finally, this weekend marks a year since football basically shut down in this country. We had no fans in stadiums because of the coronavirus. In terms of your year helping out with the NHS, Spurs' year helping out with the NHS, and just football without having fans for a whole year, can you just talk a little bit about what this year has meant to you and how different this has been for you?
You know, I still do my job. I still do what I like. Of course, in a different way. But as I told many times, when we look to the world, to the society, to other industries, we have to feel privileged. But of course, one thing is football without fans in the stadium. Another thing is football with full stadiums. And we are waiting for that. But more important than that is the way the world looks like is going now. Especially in this country, we can all read and listen to very good signs of we are going in the right direction, and hopefully very soon we have normality back, normality to football, normality to life in general. And by the way, before I forget, this big boy, McDonald's, we all wish him the best, and such a big guy and such a fighter on the pitch. We are sure that he's going to win this battle.
Okay, thanks, Moose. We're going to move on to George Cummins.
Thanks, Simon. Hello, Jose.
Hey.
I'm sure you're fed up of questions about Gareth Bale, but I was just wondering why it's taken him almost so long to reach this level of fitness that he can sustain these performances. Why has it taken till March?
Why, for the past 2 years, he had what he had in Madrid? Ask them. And maybe if they answer to you, maybe you can understand better why it took a while. Or maybe to be patient was the main reason for him to reach the level that he showed in the last couple of weeks.
So will he you're hoping he can maintain this level now till the end of the season? This is the plan?
Of course, the plan is to get the best out of the players. The plan is always for the players to give everything they have to the team. The team is the most important thing. And the team, of course, needs top players to perform. So, of course, that's the plan. That's always been the plan since they won.
Thank you.
Thanks, George. Okay, Ellie Gold.
Hello, Jose.
Hello.
Just want to ask you, we've got the international break coming up in a few weeks' time, end of this month, and obviously selections are going to be made with squads. Do you have any concern about your players heading off on international duty, particularly the likes of, Davinson Sanchez, Giovanni Lo Celso going to areas that are on the government red list?
I have concerns about all of them. Since the moment a player leaves the club, I have concerns at every level, not just as the COVID level or the red list or traveling abroad. I have also concerns of other areas. But let's wait. Let's see what is going to happen.
Can I just ask you very quickly about Toby Alderweireld? With yourself and the previous manager, Maurizio Pochettino, Toby didn't always play 3 games in a week. I don't know if that's to do with previous hamstring problems that he had. Is he at the stage where he can now, or is that something you still have to monitor quite carefully with him?
No, he looks physically good. Very good professional, works hard. Is one of the guys that dedicates himself very, very much to the individual work before the session, after the session, on prevention, on taking care of his body. It looks for me that he's physically in a good moment. But of course, 3 matches in 1 week. It doesn't matter how young you are, doesn't matter how fit you are. There is always a risk factor involved.
Thanks, Ali. We're going to move to Jonathan Veal.
Hi, Jose.
Hello.
Hi. Joe Rodon's not been involved for the last few weeks after a spell around the team. What does he have to do to get back into your plans?
Who?
Jonathan. Joe Rodon.
Joe Rodon. What he has to do? Has to do nothing. Works very hard. Good professional. Has to do nothing. He cannot play in Europa League, so that makes his chances reduced in relation to the other guys. Centre back position is a position where, of course, if he was in Europa League, he would have lots of chances to play in these 11 matches that we did. Has nothing. He's perfect. Works very hard. Young guy, wants to learn. Very enthusiastic. He played already not many matches, but matches that represent a lot, because he played important matches against, of course, some of the best teams. He has just to wait for his opportunities and to get it.
Thanks, Jonathan. Okay, Vicky Sparks from PLP.
Hi, Jose. Good to see you.
Hello. Thank you.
Just going back to your time with Scott, obviously, as manager at Chelsea, at that point when you worked with him as a player, did you always get the sense that he would be one of those that had the capacity to go into management?
No, too young. He was too young. After that, he went to Newcastle and then to Tottenham and then England national team matches too. So he was too young, and the majority of the players, they don't even think about it in the beginning of their careers. Some others, they say no, but then yes. Some others, they say yes, but then no. You don't know, and you are not focused on that. Always what I saw from beginning was that he was a serious, honest, young football player, a team player, a guy that understood immediately that in a team with Frank Lampard, Makelele, the quality that was there to play more than he was playing, he had only one option, which was the difficult decision of leaving. But then he made a very good career. I have very good memories of him, because he was a team player, and even not playing much, he was always there for us when we need him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vicky. Okay, we'll go to Bruno Valeria from Sport TV Portugal. If it is in Portuguese, you don't mind one question. Bruno.
In Portuguese.
If you want, yeah. Bruno, would you like a question in Portuguese? Bruno, are you there? Last chance, Bruno.
Move.
Okay, we're moving. William Furness to finish.
Hi, Jose.
Hey.
I was just wondering if you're going to adopt a similar approach to the one we saw against Burnley, where you play quite attacking, expansive football from the first minute. Will we see a similar approach to the game tomorrow?
In football, one thing is the game plan, and another thing is what you do. I don't know. We want to win. We want to win. We are going to play the match to win. I believe that Fulham will also try to win the match. But let's see.
And just following on from that quickly, do you feel like you've got a weight off your shoulders coming to this game for the first time in a while after quite a convincing Premier League win?
What's that?
Weight off your shoulders, like a sense of pressure. Are you talking about?
Yeah. Do you have that weight off your shoulders going into this game after the bad run recently?
No, my shoulders are fine. No problem.
Okay, thank you, William. That will conclude the broadcast part of the press conference. We'll move on to the written part, which is embargo till 10:30 tonight. We'll try to get through as many of you as possible. David Heitner, you've got your hand up first. So we'll go to David.
Thanks, Simon. Hi, Jose. Can I ask
Hello.
you about Sergio Aurier? I think when the club signed Matt Doherty, you know, a lot of people thought maybe Matt was going to come in and play it, but Sergio's really responded to that competition. Can you talk generally about the season that he's had, you know, where you think he is and what he gives to the team, and also whether or not you can give us any reflections on how you handled the situation at half-time against Liverpool?
No, we cannot do it with one right back for 50 or 60 matches. So the plan was always to have 2 players per position, basically, roughly. Ben Davies, Reguilon, and Harry Kane and Vinicius, and so on and so on and so on. So the plan was never to get a right back and to stay only with one right back. So we have both. And I don't have here stats, but independent of injuries that both they had, I believe that they both played a reasonable number of matches divided by all the competitions that we played, and we are fine. And how I handled the situation at half-time against Liverpool, always the same. I make my decisions for the good of the team. Sometimes I'm right, other times no, but I always do it for the team, and I always go back to the extreme situation of Eric Dyer against Olympiacos, where I made the substitution after 25 minutes. I always do it for the team, and if sometimes players are not happy, that's life.
Okay, John Cross.
Hello, Jose. Nice to see you.
Hey, John. Thank you.
I was just, I know you don't want to talk about Keane v Redknapp, so don't worry, I'm not going to ask you specifically about that. But the Reguilon, his name cropped up in that. And I think ultimately they both agreed what a good player he was. And it just feels to me that he's been superb, hasn't he, for Spurs since joining. He's, you know, his output, you know, his defensive game, what he adds from an offensive point of view. Just how impressed have you been, and just what a good player he is? And you know, I would put him in at least the top 3 Premier League left backs. I don't know where you see him fit and his qualities, really, if I could ask you that.
We have 2 very good left backs. I'm so happy with that. Also because they are different players. If one is better than the other in some aspects, that also applies to the other one. So I'm I'm very happy. Of course, Reggie comes from a culture of very technical football. He was born and made in a winning club, a club that is always playing to win, where since you are a kid, you are educated in that direction. So goes forward, is quick, is creative, he assists, he's enthusiastic. He has things to learn, of course. He's a young guy, and the Premier League is a different animal than La Liga, and not better, not worse, just a different animal, where he needs different qualities to survive and to succeed. But first season in the Premier League is normally not easy for a certain kind of players. And yes, I'm very happy with Sergio.
Jiggins.
Cheers, Simon. Hi, Jose. Just go back to Gareth Bale. When you signed him, a lot was made, and you knew how about his lack of match fitness because he'd not played at Real Madrid. But can you tell us how psychologically damaged was he by what had gone on at Real Madrid, and how much work have you had to do with him on that side in restoring his confidence and getting his head right again, if indeed you had to?
I did nothing. You know, I think it's a very personal thing. When a player has injuries, I believe that a player has always scars, and many times the scars are not just the physical scars, are also the emotional scars. A player that has injuries until he gets, free, clean, emotionally, takes some time. You have just to be patient. And in this case, we did nothing. We took care of him the best we could, and we always do until the last day. So you put everything around him at his disposal: coaching staff, medical staff, sport science. I believe also the friends he has in the dressing room, they also play a role in his happiness. So he was happy, but of course he was missing that happiness related to perform at a high level. I believe in this moment he's there, he's happy, he's clean, and hopefully we all can manage his minutes, his matches, his feelings. And again, I repeat, he's responsible. We give him that responsibility because he's the one that has the knowledge of his body. And of course, our communication is very, very good, and we are managing the situation the best we can.
Adrian Kajumba.
Hi, Jose.
Hello.
Hi, Jose. Also on Gareth, I just wanted to ask in terms of the.
Come on, Gareth again.
Yeah, just one.
Maybe he doesn't play tomorrow, and every question is about Gareth. Come on.
Maybe
just because he scored 2 goals. Come on.
I'm looking further ahead, not just about tomorrow. Just in terms of the prospect of him potentially staying next season, I just wonder what's the process there in terms of how and when you have to make that decision?
I think in relation to that, you should contact your colleagues in Madrid, and they should ask Zidane, because he's Real Madrid player, is not a Tottenham player. So Real Madrid has everything in their hands. They have the player. They have a player with 1 year of contract. They have the power in their hands. I just have a player on loan, and I'm trying to take the best out of the player for Tottenham Hotspurs. With all the respect to Real Madrid, is the same with Vinicius. We try to take care of the players that we have on loan for us, but also for the respect we have for the club that loaned us the player. If you want to know anything about Garrett's future, I think you should ask your colleagues in Madrid to ask Zizou.
Okay, we're going to finish with Matt and then Dan. Matt, hoping this isn't Gareth Bale related.
No, I wouldn't dare mention his name. I'd mention everyone else's name though. Given you've got so many players now fit and playing at the better on form, it's more the football you want to be known as for at Tottenham than perhaps some of the football you were criticised for earlier in the season, when the players were new, you hadn't necessarily formed your best team. It's the last sort of dozen games of the season a chance to showcase what Jose Mourinho's Tottenham's really about.
Come on, I don't want to speak much. It's difficult to answer because we won 4-0 one match that we played very, very well, and certainly it looks like my methods are good again, and Gareth Bale is a top player again, and we play wonderfully. Come on. Don't kill us when the results are bad, but also don't make it like we are in the top of the world. Let us focus in our job. Of course, we want to play well. Of course, we want to score goals. Of course, we don't want to concede goals. Of course, we want to play attacking football. Of course, we want the best and always the best. But sometimes it's not possible.
Okay, finish with Dan Kilpatrick.
Hi, Jose. Can I
Hello?
ask about a different player, Pierre-Emile Højbjerg? You did play a very attacking team against Burnley. Does Pierre give you? Does he allow you to do that? Does he give you a platform in there? What exactly does he bring to the side?
We played a very attacking football, but where everybody defended. And that's football now. Every player has to defend. Sonny had to defend, Kane had to defend, Gareth Bale had to defend. Even on defensive set pieces, you could see Gareth winning balls in the far post and cleaning it, and that's a team. So we can of course say that Pierre is not, let's say, the most creative player, or is physically stronger than the others, and he's one with an important role in the team. But the team is not an accumulation of players. A team is much more than that, and we are happy with Pierre, of course. But to be honest, in this moment, also Winks, Sissoko, working well, playing well. The last match in Europa League they played very well. So every player in this moment is ready to play.
And to follow up what Alistair asked you about internationals, you're obviously managing the minutes of some players like Gareth and like Harry Kane. How concerned are you about the prospect of them going away at the end of this month after a really difficult month and playing for their countries?
I am concerned, but there is nothing in my hands that I can do. Nothing at all. Is when they go to the national team, they are not our players. They belong to the national teams. Then they belong to the national coaches. What they do in training is out of our control. The way they recover in between matches is out of our control. The way the national team manager, uses them and plays them, and what asks from them also tactically is out of our hands. Everything is out of our hands.
Okay, Dan. Thank you very much.
Thank you.